Good evening again, and it's a tough act to follow, Rick. But it's good to be among so many friends to celebrate this first anniversary. In 1 year, we have come a long way. But we're not here to look back at the past, but to figure out how we are going to fight back, to win the elections, and to get our country back. Now, 1 year ago, we were upset, but now, we the people, we have had enough. And enough is enough. The Obama White House and a number of members of the Congress are now implementing a progressive socialist agenda, and they are bankrupting the country. We have watched them violate their sacred oath of office. We, the people, can hardly wait for the next round of elections. We are ready to take our country back now. How are we going to do it? We will raise the money, we will organize, and we will win the elections. As Julie Turner, our activism chair, told you, our first step was identifying a list of 5 to 10 people in Texas that we need to defeat. Jean Green, right? Chet Edwards, Sheila Rodriguez, Sheila Jackson Lee. We are coming for you. And a similar number out of Texas. We are going to work on you too. What about Harry Reid? Blanche Lincoln? Barbara Boxer? And why not add to the list John McCain? Like it or not, to win election takes a lot of resources. You need to get the message out, and getting the message out requires a lot of money. We cannot count on the media except our friendly radio talk shows. I don't think you have seen in your local chronicle one single word about tonight's tea parties, right? So we need each of you to get active. Each of you needs to become an activist. Also, we need you to use your checkbook. That's what Rick was telling you. To fight the tax and spend liberals, the progressists, the redistributionists. Those are the new words for socialism and destruction of America as we know it. Why does the media try to paint it as a personal attack when we call someone a socialist? In Europe, where I came from, to acknowledge someone as a Marxist, a socialist, or a communist, it's not an insult, it's a statement of fact. The fact that they adhere to an ideology that we do not agree with. He's saying that Obama's agenda represents a Marxist-leaning philosophy based on redistribution of wealth and equality at all costs. That's not an attack on his person. It's a valid political statement that needs to be made without fearing to offend anybody. I never heard say that it was a personal attack to say that France elected a socialist president in 1981, which is why I came to the United States. And that several European countries still have socialist leaders? No, that's not an insult. Neither it is to say that Obama and many members in Congress are working to implement a progressive socialist agenda. So let's talk a minute about the Republicans and the Democrats. In the last few years, Republicans in Congress, and particularly in the Senate, have been weak. Let's face it, they even have often been bad. But the Dems, they are much worse. They are terrible. Our job will be to start working very quickly to get more conservative Democrats and Republicans elected in the 2012 primaries. But in the meantime, we have to defeat as many of the worst candidates as possible. We cannot afford to defeat bad candidates if it's just to replace them with worse ones. So please realize we are in this for a long time. First, we take America back on November 2nd. But then it will take several election cycles to reverse the liberal trend followed by both parties in all those last years. We need staying power. In the last few years, the grassroots, mainly on the Republican side, have become more and more conservative, while the elites in Washington and many elected officials have become more and more moderate and detached from the realities and the will of their constituents under the excuse that they want to please the press and that they need to be nice and friendly with their colleagues of the opposite party. This has to stop. We need elected officials who have the spine, the guts, and are reinforced by the continued pressure and encouragement of the Tea Party patriots to hold the line on runaway expenses, free market, constitution, and limited government.